right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our first of this Legacy Business Toolkit webinar series. Today's topic is going to be on access to capital. And so quick housekeeping, please stay on mute. And any questions you have, you could put into the chat or the Q&A section. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded to our Legacy Business website. And then if you have any questions, you can email us legacybusiness@lacity.org. Just quickly about the LA Legacy Business Program. We started this program to assist businesses that have been around for at least 20 years or more. And basically, we're just trying to make sure that our communities stay the way it is or to keep these businesses around longer. The definition of a legacy business for this program is you must be 20 years or more within the same community, contribute significantly to your community's history and identity, sustain or cultivate traditional cultural traditions or practices. The business is not franchised or affiliated with national corporate chains. It also provides vital goods and services in a language or manner that's culturally accessible to their community. As of right now, we have 678 legacy businesses throughout the city with a good demographic breakdowns located throughout. Part of the program is we have promotional activities where you'll be featured on our website and social medias. We do send promotional toolkits, including like this little sticker, which will hopefully increase your visibility and exposure to potential customers. We do have a Legacy Business Recovery Grant Program that's exclusive for legacy businesses for grants between 10 and 20,000. We just closed round 2, but round 3 will be opening up next year. And then part of this program or part of this webinar series is connected to the Legacy Business Toolkit, which we created with the LA Conservancy on topics that we'll be going over through this webinar series. It's available for download as well as viewing on our website. And that's just a quick overview of our program. So you can visit our website. That's the link if you want to learn more. So our first presentation is going to come from Josephine, and she is a Senior Technical Assistance Associate at Inclusive Action for the City. She brings multi-sector and multidisciplinary skill set in the business consulting and economic development, international development, and social impact measurements. Born in Ethiopia, Josephine has extensive experience collaborating with national and global entrepreneurs, business executives, and nonprofit leaders to launch, develop, and optimize their projects successfully. Her expertise lies in redefining business strategies and forging strategic partnerships and delivering innovative programs grounded in strong theories of change. She's the founder of Yenagat Chora, a nonprofit social enterprise dedicated to empowering low-income women in Ethiopia. She deeply believes in the transformative power of entrepreneurship, business ownership, policy advocacy, and to address the systematic societal changes and foster equitable and sustainable communities. Josephine holds a master's degree in social entrepreneurship from the University of Southern California and a BS in public health from Elon University. So Josephine.
Thank you. Yeah, that bio's a bit long. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for hosting this. And small business owners, thank you for making the time to come. So yeah, just Josephine. I have been at Inclusive Action for more than 3 years, and I try to support small businesses throughout LA County with access to affordable business loans as well as business coaching. And then on the next slide, we can talk a little bit about inclusive action for the city. We are based in East LA in Boulder Heights. So we are both a nonprofit and economic justice organization and a CDFI, which really stands for Community Development Financial Institution, is designed by the U.S. Treasury to provide capital So yeah, we provide microloans to small business owners across Los Angeles County who we believe that are historically underserved and underinvested communities, and making sure that we support them in having access to healthy capitals to support, micro entrepreneurs that could be street vendors, swap meet, as well as brick and mortar businesses. And basically a CDFI, which means we're, designated by the federal government to lend to small businesses that were historically left out of the financial systems. And we do this because we really believe that small businesses are the backbone of our economy and we should be investing in them. So what really makes, CDFI different than like traditional lenders such as banks is that we really fill in that middle gap that we see that is missing in the financial products. So we try to pair each of our loans with business coaching because we understand that just financial alone or access to capital alone is not going to support small businesses, that small businesses also need wraparound services such as, supporting them with business coaching and really helping them through their entrepreneur journey to make them more successful. And so we also, what makes our CDFI in the landscape very different is that we have advocacy and policy arm to our work. So we work with, try to change policies that affect those that we serve. So for example, we're actually one of the organization, along with other coalition that fought to legalize street vending in Los Angeles. So we really made sure that there's a pathway for food entrepreneurs to be on the path to formalizing their business, as well as passed a Senate bill to really strengthen tenant protections, and really fight for small business anti-displacement. So we really try to, work hand in hand with policy and access to capital to really make sure that small businesses feel supported. And so, yeah, we are micro entrepreneurs, like I said. So a lot of our, the portfolios that we serve is that 50% of street vendors, home-based businesses that we really try to formalize. And 60% is actually women. We support a lot of BIPOC, low to moderate income immigrant entrepreneurs. So as you can see that 97% of our portfolio are people of color. And we support folks who are non-social security holders as well. Next. Okay. Yeah, so just to let you know about our, CDFI fund, which is our oldest access to capital funds that we use. So it's really designed to support low income, marginalized, underserved entrepreneurs who are, creating businesses throughout Los Angeles. How do we provide them low interest loans and pair that with business coaching to really make sure that they're on their path to be more successful. And so, yeah, next slide. Okay. So right now, we have two loans that meet the community needs. And what does that mean is that that means that we're trying to do healthy capital. So we provide one of, some of the lowest interest rate in the county to making sure that small businesses have affordable way of accessing loans to support their businesses. So our loans range from 500 to $50,000 from 5 to 8 interest rate. And it's important to note that that interest rate is fixed. As you see, other term rates might not be fixed interest rate. And so the SIMIA loan is our most flexible capital, and which basically means is that you can use it for a wide range of business use. So, hey, I need support for working capital. I need support for inventories. I need to be, investing in equipment. Anything that your business needs, that would be the best loan product. Raíces is our small dollar loan. And this loan product is really specifically designed to build credit. So for folks who don't have any, who hasn't established a bank, haven't formed any credit, how do we now provide them this loan and have consistent payment and be able to build their credit? Or They are, combating a lot of predatory lending. Some folks we've seen 30% interest rate. And how do we now go and like use this loan to refinance the predatory lending and be able to create, more pathway to financial sustainability. Next slide. Um, and so let me see. Yeah. So how does this happen is basically there's a pre-loan business coaching that happens. So that means is that you get paired with a loan intake specialist who would really walk you through the application process, answer any questions that you have, and also say, hey, I'm interested in a loan, but I don't have my permits together. I don't understand, certain parts of my business that I need support in. We can help you with resources to make sure that you have permitting and anything that you need to get your business started. And then the underwriting process, like I said, we offer flexible terms, which means that, we really try to assess small businesses and meet them where they are. So we ask them, hey, you want a loan? How much loan do you want? What is the use of that loan for, right? To invest in your business. And if that's for equipment, and making sure that you understand how much that loan is, but then how much are you able to comfortably pay, depending on how much you're making in your business. We're also making sure that there's unique loan products that really support your business and making sure it's an affordable pathway to investing in your business. And then again, each client gets paired with a business coach that provides them one-on-one business coaching. You have access to workshop as well as our network of partners. For example, we work with public counsel who can support with legal support of, hey, I want to register my business. I want to form an LLC, or, my landlord is giving me a hard time with my brick and mortar business and I need to sit with a lawyer. So we can help you with that as well. And with, making sure that we connect you with other like-minded entrepreneurs, because we understand that being an entrepreneur and, a solo entrepreneur is a lonely journey, and making sure that you get connected with others in the industry as well. Next slide. Yeah, so are you ready to invest in your business? There is more detail, more. I don't know if we want to cover that, but oh, can we go back to one slide? Sorry, yeah. So just want to note, how we're different from banks. As again, we do character-based lending, so we adhere to the three C's, which is character, capital, and capacity. How we understand small businesses are important to the communities and how you're creating jobs and sustaining the community, how much capital that you need and how much are you able to pay. Those are those criterias, but also, we don't have a minimum square of FOSCO scores. We don't really, have a requirement of ITIN, or you need a social security, but you could be an ITIN holder as well. And we don't require a bank account. We support businesses and we meet the businesses where they are. And so just those are some of our criteria as well. Yeah, so this is our term sheet. Like I said, with any lenders, you want to make sure you really understand the interest rate. You want to make sure it says fixed, so then that's consistent. You want to look into like the repayment terms, and then the fees. What are some of the fees that lenders are asking you, even banks, right? And then use of funds, like I said, depending on the loan products that you need. There are different ways that you can use it. And then time in business, and then the income requirement. So we've increased our income. So if you do make, more less than 1 million, you qualify for these loan products. And in the bottom, you could see some of our highlights and requirements, as well as industries that we don't support, such as cannabis business, or, alcohol business as well. Um, yeah, this is just kind of an example, because oftentimes people are like have a hard time of like, oh, it's a loan. Loan is a debt. I don't want a debt for my business, and we definitely understand that. And we always say, loan is a debt, but it can also be as an investment into your business, especially if it's used well, and making sure that you shop around and that you understand what is the best approach for your business. So making sure you go with a CDFI that allows you to have low interest, but as well as business coaching and really a person who's a cheerleader and behind you in your business journey and support you. And so just to give you an example of, how you can use your loan for, I'll just focus on the Simia loan. So that amount, a client who runs a coffee shop got a loan for $35,000 and wanted to expand their weekday offers and offer breakfast and sandwiches. So they used the loan to purchase a hot plate and a grill and hire part-time employees and then invest in their marketing. So the new hours and offering increased revenue allow them to retain the employees. So that's one of the best ways that, they are investing in their business and hopefully that they can reap the benefit of it at the same time. Another one is the tech consultant. They also got a 30,000 loan and had to put, several expenses up front on the business credit card in order to fulfill a contract. And then the credit card, as I said here, it's a high interest rate of 29%. So she used the loan to refinance, essentially, which that means pay off that credit card debt, reducing her monthly debt from 1,000 to 500, and which means that they're freeing up more of the cash flow for her business. So as you can see, you can see the two ways that you can be investing in your business by getting a loan to support your business. So yeah, these are, some of things to keep in mind where when you're thinking about, what do I need a loan for? So really having a detailed plan for funding really helps. Getting a quote. So like if there's an equipment that you're investing, getting a quote about that. Timeline, we always say like oftentimes small businesses come to us when they need a loan like today, but we're saying, hey, think about it like 3 months, 6 months down the line. How do I want to invest in my business? And making sure that your business and your personal is stable, which means are you on time with your rent, with your utilities, because debt is debt, and we don't want to create more detriment to your personal or business by acquiring another debt. So we want to make sure you're in a stable position to take on this investment. And then how much can I afford monthly in order to take on this loan? And then do I have the right documents? So you can go onto our website and it has a detail of like what's needed for your for your documents, but also don't worry about things like that because we can also help you in making sure you get those documents as well and work with you along the line. Yes, I think those are more details, so I can give it back to you. And then if there's questions at the end, I can go through this as well.
Okay. Okay. I'll just the slides will be available on the website too if anyone wants to dive deeper into it. But let me know if there's anything you wanted to go
Yeah, you
over.
can just, yeah. So, yeah, feel free to email or text me if you have questions, and I can, chat more in person as well, one to one.
And we'll share the contact with everyone too. Um, so next we have Louise Luna, who is the Director of Economic Development for the Managed Career Solutions MCS and the Program Director for the City of Los Angeles, West Valley, Watts, and Harbor Business Source Centers. He's facilitated over 24.2 million in capital and helped create and retain over 750 jobs across Los Angeles. He's a proud native of Pacoima, and Louise combines expertise in finance, business, and technology to empower entrepreneurs through access to capital, sustainable growth. He also developed a business accelerator program, training over 1,000 English and Spanish speaking entrepreneurs. Louise serves on the board of directors of the Greater San Fernando Valley Chamber of Commerce, championing immigrant and legacy businesses citywide.
Thank you, Nisa. First and foremost, I want to thank Nisa, Lisette, and Rosalind for inviting me and more anything for organizing this presentation. And yeah, I think if anything from my bio, I just want to say, my role is to help you strengthen your my role is to help you expand and strengthen your business through access to capital and through local resources. So I am from Managed Career Solutions. So we are a social purpose corporation, and we're dedicated to advancing economic opportunity across Los Angeles through partnerships with the City of LA, LA County, um, operating business source programs, the U Source, and the Workshop Centers. We provide free business advising and access to capital and workforce development services. So MCS is here to empower entrepreneurs and job seekers to start and grow and sustain their businesses that strengthen our local communities. So we do have several offices throughout the city of LA. In the red, you're able to see the business source centers that I'm responsible for and one thing that I operate. And we also have workshop centers, which I'm gonna touch a little bit more about some of the services that we offer for each one, and also youth source. So it goes from the San Fernando Valley down to the harbor, out to East LA, and all across the city of LA. So I invite you guys to visit one of our offices. You go on to the next slide. So in our Business Source Center, this is where we provide personalized guidance and technical support for every stage of your business, whether you're starting, structuring, or growing your operation. And these right here are our most popular services, specifically for our legacy operators. So first, we support with any license permits that will help you be in compliance or to help you expand. And I here I put a just like the general license, whether it's a business license with the city of LA, a DBA renewal, a seller's permit, employer tax registration. We could also help you and guide you through any alcohol licensing, specifically with the restaurant beverage program, and assist you with any outdoor dining permits through Alfresco Express, where they support with construction, remodeling, and the occupancy approval. Um, we also could help you with capital guidance for growth, equipment, real estate, and modernization. I'll go touch on a little bit more on that, specifically with business grants, microloans, or SBA loans. We also have workshops on a weekly basis and networking opportunities. So right here, I just have a couple of examples. So we have this presentation on a monthly basis where we call money strategies, and we collaborate with a bank. This is an example. BMO. We just had this last Friday, but this is where we invite our banks, our local banks, and have them talk about some of the products that they have and how you're able to access them. One of my responsibilities in my job is to make sure that our banks are supporting our local businesses. So I always, work with all the banks. Um, and we also have a restaurant beverage program, and this is with city planning, and that will talk specifically about this the restaurant beverage programs that I'm gonna touch a little bit about in shortly, and the networking opportunities. So out in the harbor, if your business is located in the harbor, whether it's San Pedro or Wilmington or if you're looking into doing business in the harbor, I invite you guys to join our Small Business Academy, and we do this in collaboration with the San Pedro Chamber. And out in the San Fernando Valley, we have what we call MCS, have lunch with MCS. Uh, you go on to the next slide. So again, we have three business centers. One is in the San Fernando Valley, and specifically in the West Valley in Conoco Park. One in San Pedro, and right now in the Watts area. All of our services are completely free. So these are some of the additional resources that we've been working with our legacy operations. So first and foremost, our employee and business support services through our workforce centers. This is where we're able to help you find talent, promote your job openings, navigate recruitment, or I mean, hopefully not, but there's some that we have to downsize. And also we have access to interview space. So you're welcome to use any of our workshop centers across the city of LA, not just through MCS and this through all workshop centers, for interview space, to screen candidates, and which one of the most popular services on-the-job training funds that help you cover portion of your employee wages during training. So this is actually a very popular service because through the workshop centers, they're able to provide you 30 to 50% of the salary of your employees that you hire for 3 months while you train them with the hopes that you're going to keep them, right? We also have a legal advising program, and I saw in through our toolkit in on the website that there's going to be a presentation out with Vetsetic. So Vetsetic and Public Counsel is one of our great partners. They can help you with legal services, one-on-one assistance with business formation. So if you're in the position of determining if your entity is the best fit for your operation, there might be a good they're a good support group, and more than anything, they make you understand if what works best, right? If you're looking for leasing or to lease a space, and then you need help understanding the lease agreement, if you have a draft, you're able to take it to them, and they can review it and go over it with you. Also with contracts, employment law, and IPs, intellectual properties. Um, they support you navigate legal challenges and to build sustainable businesses. All these services are completely free. We also have the Small Business Express program. So these are it's a personalized support through every stage of your project from design and opening. You get a dedicated case manager that will guide you through the plan review, permit, construction, inspection, and final approvals to help you open faster and fewer obstacles. One of the things is that whenever we are opening up a second location, or whether you need some structure construction in your business, going through all these departments at the city with the city, so it could be sometimes it could be a headache, right? So this Restaurant Express program, oh sorry, the Small Business Express program helps you alleviate that. There's also the Restaurant Beverage program, and this is by city planning, and it's a faster, lower cost way to for eligible sit-down restaurants to get city approval to serve alcohol. Um, so no conditional use permit. So this program we see are very popular for those coffee shops, cafes, and restaurants that want to offer beer and wine. Example, out in the Conoco Park, we're helping a coffee shop, go through the RBP program to offer what's it called, champagne, and have mimosas for brunch, right? Go on to the next slide. So these are the reasons, or some of the service. So these are the reasons that or the way that we're helping legacy businesses. Right now, we're as we work with NISA and the city to recognize our legacy operations. We've been contacted for renovation and facility upgrades, dining area remodel, ADA upgrades, equipment replacement and expansion. Actually, this is the reason your business, you're able to seek capital for. So renovations, facility upgrades, equipment and replacement and expansion, purchasing a building. And I'm going to talk about some of these programs that we have specifically for these reasons. If you're looking to add in a location, open up a second place, modernizing your operation, whether it's a new point of sale, or maybe you're looking into taking a retail business into in e-commerce, or cash flow stabilization. And this is a big one. So when we sit down with our legacy operations, and help them prepare for this grant opportunity that Nisa just covered, we go over your entire operation, right? We want to understand your financial position, and if there's any way that we could alleviate some of your cost of operation. And the way that we do it is that we want to see if we can help you refinance some of the debt that you have, whether it's credit card, or merchant cash advance. And to give you an example, out in the San Fernando Valley, we sat down with the restaurant. We analyzed their entire financials, and we saw that they have a high credit debt, $80,000 of multiple credit cards. The credit card payment on a monthly basis was about $6,000, and we were able to help get a term loan of about $60,000 to consolidate the entire amount, and that brought down the payment to about $2,000. So they were able to alleviate about $4,000 of expenses, right? Merchant cash advances is a high interest loans, and that we could definitely also help you refinance. And the way that we do it is that we basically break it down into three steps. First, kind of like what Josephine mentioned, we sit down and go over and get you loan ready, right? By that we go over your business plan. So the business plan, I always say that, and I'm a big advocate that you need to develop a business plan different business plan for every stage of your business, right? So whether you're as a legacy operation, if you're looking to stabilize your business, or you're looking to expand, right? So we analyze and gather your cash flow and financials. So whether it's profit and loss statements, balance sheets, tax returns, and then we also we sit down with you and clarify your funding needs. We want to understand what is it that you need the money for. Um, then we move on to the second part. So this is where we provide you with support with application support. We package what we call gathering documents is what we consider a package and loan. So we make sure that you meet all the requirements of all of our financial institutions that we work with, like Inclusive Action. And then we also guide you through each one of we guide you through the lender application and the requirements, and more importantly, we support you to strengthen your submission, along with the technical assistance providers like Josephine. We want to make sure that there's a high potential that the loan is ready to move forward, and more importantly, that you're going to get funded. And we only do that, and we only move on to step three when we know that part, right? We want to guarantee that at least at 80% that there's going to be that the loan is going to be approved. So in the third step, we connect you and apply. So in this case, like the example I could give you is like, again, we get you loan ready, gather all the documents, we assess them, look at all the inclusive action requirements, and then this is when I connect you with Josephine and see if your business is a good fit. We do warm introductions when possible, and if there's any additional support that we could provide, we're here for that. And more importantly, we help you until you get funded. You go on to the next slide. So one of the programs that we often use is the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And for those that are not familiar with it, it is a U.S. government agency that was created to help small businesses secure funding that might find difficult to obtain through traditional lending channels. The most popular programs through the SBA that we assist with legacy operations. First is the 7A loan. This is used for working capital, business acquisition, equipment. 504, buying real estate or big item equipment, and also the economic injury disaster loan. And it's available to businesses affected by natural disasters like earlier this year with the fires that happened here in the city of LA. You go on to the next slide. So the SBA 7A program, again, it could be used for working capital, whether it's payroll, rent, inventory, purchasing equipment and machinery, buying furniture or fixtures, refining existing debt, if it approves your cash flow, buying real estate, owner occupied only, starting or expanding your existing business, if you want to do any leasehold improvements or acquire another business, or if you're looking to set up a franchise, and it could help you with the franchise fees. The so for the SBA 5, the 7A, the loans are up to 5 million, and the terms are usually from 5 to 10 years. Real estate is on average is always 25 years. The interest rate, then this is like the key part that I definitely want to make sure that you guys get from this presentation, is that the interest rate most of the time is variable, and it's variable in the sense that the SBA is used as a guarantee to the loan. So usually an SBA loan is a good, like a stepping stone, right, to establish a relationship with the bank. But more importantly, within a couple of years, your goal should be to refinance that loan to get a fixed rate. I mean, and there's also very not very common, but there is times where the SBA 7A program also offers a fixed rate loan. The down payment is only for startups. So as a legacy operation, I mean, if you're starting up another business, so for example, if you have the example I have right now is a mechanic shop that wants to start up a tire shop, right? So like the business goes, it complements the operation, but it's not directly an actual, it's not the actual business. So it's a mechanic shop starting a tire shop. So because since they're starting a new business, they're starting up a business, they need to have 10% of the total cost of the project. But now if the mechanic shop wants to expand their operation, meaning that they want to buy more equipment to offer an additional new service that is very related to the same operation, then there's no down payment. The guarantee fee, yeah, it's based on the loan amount, and it could also be included into a loan. You go on to the next slide. So now the 7A, this program, I highly encourage you that, even after today, after I go over these points, you actually go on and the SBA website, sba.gov, and continue looking at this program because it's very important. This SBA loan, it could be used for purchasing land or existing buildings. It could also be used for constructing a new facility, renovating existing one, buying long-term equipment, improving land, grading, landscaping, parking lot utilities, refinancing qualified debts. Um, and I could give you a couple of examples. Again, it's a mechanic shop, actually a collision center that is using the SB 504 program to purchase an additional lot to store their car. So like this program, you don't have to use it to operate like your operation from. It could be like an extension of your business, right? One of the biggest things about this program is that you could purchase a property and utilize 51% and lease 49% of it. So um, and I say that because like as a small business owner, if you're able to understand how to access this program, your intention should be get to that point, right? The example of this mechanic shop, starting up at the collision center, that ran out of space in their current operation, and now they're buying the lot across the street because they need more space. So now they're going to be they have space to store their cars. In addition, they also have a tire shop location that they're going to lease it, for lease basically. And also the other example is a cafe shop out in the San Fernando Valley that they bought the property, and in the property there's five. So it's a two-story property. They have a coffee shop in the first floor. Second floor, it has spaces for five additional offices. And she's renting it out to five different operations, and on top of that, it has a billboard. So cost of the loan is about $11,000, and she's leasing $7,000. So her out-of-pocket price is about $4,000. So I highly encourage you guys to definitely check this program out. So this loan amount typically is up to $5 million. Term loan is between 10, 20, or 25 years. The interest rate is on average is fixed. And the down payment, so the down payment is the hardest part, and it usually requires you 10%. And I will say is that if you find a property that you might be interested, just calculate 10% of that. And, if you have the 10%, then you could definitely use this program. If not, then at least you have an understanding that, when you should be ready to take advantage of this program. The cool thing is that the collateral most of the time is the property that you purchase, or the high item equipment is usually used as collateral. So again, I encourage you guys to check it out. Definitely look at it. The SBA, the economic injury disaster loan. So this program again, like depending on the natural disasters, right now the most popular one, or the one that we just had here in the city of LA, is the wildfires. Early in the year, so they're still taking applications. So this loan is up to $2 million. And what I've seen is that it's about 7-year term and at a cost of about 10%. So if you have been if you could justify that you have been economically injured during the like basically in January to February, you're able to apply for this loan. And what does it mean when it comes to economic injury? It means that your sales are dropped in during that time. So they will look at your bank statements or your profit and loss statements and compare January, February compared to like December, or you could look at the first quarter of the year compared to the last quarter of the year, right? So we could definitely help you out with this program if you're interested. We have direct communication with the SBA, and want to make sure that you get funded to make sure that your operation keeps operating. So on next slide. The alternative sources for funding, as Josephine covered, is community development financial institutions that are mission-driven lenders and focus on underserved communities and small businesses. They're a lot more flexible than your financial institutions or banks, and they provide provide support along with funding. So usually for our community development financial institutions, we use for any microloans, as low as $500. and term loans often between 5 to 250,000. The cool thing is that in the Conagua Park office, we are co-located with one of our CDFI lending partners, ALCAP, and we're able to do up to 500,000. So usually these, again, financial institutions are very flexible with the requirements. It's a good way of starting to access capital, learn how to use capital, and before you move on to working with a financial institution. The other options that we have is credit cards and line of credit. So these are short-term working capital options for managing cash flow. They're definitely great for recurring expenses, inventory emergencies. It definitely helps you build your business credit, and the interest varies. With credit cards, I always say that no, shop around. I mean, if you have a credit card that you have at the moment, and if you want to make sure that your bank that you're working with is supporting you, and if it's and by what I mean by that is that you should be able to access their products, and if whether credit cards, line of credits, or term loans, if your bank is not providing you, or if you're applying to your bank, you're getting rejected, then it might be a good time to shop around and start talking to other banks. You can go on to the next slide. So again, we're not a lender, but we provide technical assistance. So we help you prepare for financing. We have strong relationships with CDFIs, all financial institutions, and we only submit your loan application that have at least a 75% chance of approval. So our team understands what our lenders are looking for, and we help you meet each requirement. And these are basically the steps that we take. We sit down with you, we intake, and by intake we collect some of the basic information. We do an assessment by looking at your tax returns, financial statements, um, your entire operation, and then we match you with the lender. Um, and then my goal, or our goal, is to make sure that you go directly to the underwriter, so that way we could fund you fast. You go on to the next slide. And these are just steps that I definitely encourage you guys to get your loan ready. So definitely connect with us. Here at MCS or at Inclusive Action, we're definitely here for help. I encourage you guys to organize your financial records, gather your 2 to 3 tax returns and financial statements, prepare your current balance sheet, gather 3 to 6 months bank statements, and also review and strengthen your credit. So check both your personal and business credit. Avoid opening any new credit lines before applying. Update and create your business plan. Separate your personal and business finances if you have not yet. And prepare any standard legal documents. And I want to emphasize on that part, because most of the time that it takes us a little longer to fund you because these are not up to date. So whether it's your business license in the city of LA, you have an updated DBA, or your LLC operating agreements, partnership agreements, proof of insurance, have that all in hand. Um, and more importantly, make sure that you understand exactly how much you need. I mean, we're here for the help at every step of this way. Go on to the next slide. And again, I mean, I invite you guys and I encourage you guys to call or visit any of our offices out in the West Valley. We're in Canoga Park in San Pedro. We're out in 7th Street, along with this, co-located with the San Pedro Chamber. And right now in Watts, we're working from the council member's office. I encourage you guys to follow us on Instagram, LA Small Business, and follow us on LinkedIn. This is where we post all of our upcoming events, any opportunities that we have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Nisa.
All right, thank you, Luis. So finally, we're going to get into the new City of LA grant program that will be opening soon. We don't have a release date yet, but we're just going to go over the program. It is called the Microenterprise Recovery Grant Program, so it is exclusively for microenterprise. So that's 1 to 5 employees, including owners. It is meant to help with the COVID recovery still, and it's going to be coming from community development block grants from the federal government. And the grant amounts is going to be between 10 to 15,000, depending if you have employees or not, and that's W-2 employees. If you're familiar with the legacy grant, ours is a lottery base. This one's going to be priority based. So priority is going to go to businesses who apply and meet all the eligibility if they have not received other financial assistance. It doesn't disqualify you if you received it, but we're prioritizing those that have not received it yet. Also, those that are located in low-income census tracts, and then businesses that do have the W-2 employees and are operating from public commercial locations, aka brick and mortars. This is the eligibility criteria list. You must be a for-profit, so nonprofits do not qualify. You have to be located and operating in the city of Los Angeles. And again, the size must be 5 employees, including the owners or less, and it's W-2 employees. If you have 1099, you can still apply, but you would go for the 10,000 instead. Revenue, your annual revenue cannot exceed over 1 million, and you have to have an active and current BTRC with the city of Los Angeles. This is something that will get you automatically disqualified. So you're going to want to make sure that your registration is active and paid through. It doesn't matter if you just paid it this year or it's your entire history of your business. It has to be active. So make sure if you owe back taxes that you contact and get those cleared up. And if you're not sure, you can definitely contact us or your local BusinessSource Center. We can assist with that too. You also must be good standing with the state and not debarred with the federal government. You can check those standings with their websites. It's just the Secretary of State website for the state, and then debarred. You could find that out on sam.gov. And then you must be established and operating since March 1st, 2020. If most of you are legacy businesses, that won't be a problem. But if there's people who are not, you do need some kind of documentation showing that you've been in operation since at least March 1st, 2020. It will require a COVID-19 impact statement about how your business was affected. And the type of funding does require every business to create or at least retain 1 job. And they should be a low income person, and our website will have the table of what that means. It could also be the business owner. And also, if you were funded in rounds 1 or 2, then you will not be eligible. If you were funded through legacy business, you will be, but again, the priority will be those who did not receive the grant yet. Use of funding is, if you're familiar with a lot of our grants, it's basically the same. It's payroll, rent, utilities, insurance, inventory, outstanding business expenses, and adaptive business practices. So basically, like if you're trying to use it for a website or updating it to meet the modern times. Outstanding business practices does not mean paying off your other loans payments. So other examples are we can't use this grant to pay taxes, construction or tenant improvements, credit card debt, loan payments, or any kind of personal kind of expenses. So it must be for your business. And to touch like what Louise talked about before, you do need to have your personal and your business separated, because we'll get into it right now, but one of the documents is we do need your latest business bank statement, and it does need to be your business bank statement. We can't take personal bank statements. Documents that will be uploaded with the application is your 2019, 2020, and 2024 business tax returns. So if you're not sure where they are, I would gather them now. They want your latest payroll tax form. So that's like your form 941 or your W-3 that shows that you have 5 or less employees. If the owners are not listed, then make sure that the number does on their your 941 does need to be less than 5, because it's including the owners is how we count a microenterprise. And then again, the latest business bank statement and a copy of a government issue ID. So those are the documents that will be required to be uploaded with the application. I don't believe if you do not upload it with the application, I believe your application will be invalid. So make sure you have that ready for you when you are going to apply. And then if you are selected for funding, there'll be documents required in order to move on to the actual funding. So we do need your signed W-9 bank statement or your bank information to fund the ACH payments into, as well as job retention forms. And you'll eventually need to sign the grant agreement. If you don't submit those things within the timeline that is given, then your application will move on to the next person. And then about 6 months after you do get the funding, we'll follow up with compliance documents where you would submit any kind of job creation forms and a compliance certificate saying that you met the terms of the agreement. And please note that our underwriters might ask for other additional documents, but that would be probably during the funding document stage. But those are these 4 documents are what is going to be required with the upload of the application. So we don't have a date yet, but it is going to be probably soon. I'm expecting next month. So definitely follow our social medias. This is our economic and development social medias. If you're a legacy business, we'll definitely send out emails and post it as well. But to get the instant, as soon as it's open, we'll be posting it. Hopefully we'll give a little bit heads up too, but do note that I believe the time frame is going to be short. So it's best to prepare now, get all your documents in place so that when it does open, you can apply and you don't miss the deadline. I don't know if it will open again, but that's just heads up that it is coming soon. It's going to definitely be, I think, in this month. So be prepared for this new grant opportunity.